shipped it back to us. So this is a kind of a homemade Frankenstein project sort of, but it's as good as it gets. So the captain is currently steering this whole thing with the joystick that's connected to a rudder at the end of the boat, and there's also of course a propeller that pushes us forward. Så vår buss blev till båt bara sådär. Och det är i grund och botten en helt vanlig Volvo-lastbil som köptes in ny från fabrik. Skickades till USA där den byggdes av en man som heter John och skickades tillbaka till oss, och här är vi nu. Jag kan säga att John också gör husbilar som går på vatten om någon är intresserad. Kan vi säkert få hans nummer när vi kommer tillbaks. And a common question we get around here is what happens to the wheels as you go into the water? Do you have any suggestions? They stay exactly, nothing happens. They stay exactly where they are. Because after all, this is not a James Bond vehicle. This is not James Bond. Are you sorry? Just keep on waiting for that call for MI6. They will call eventually. So a quick reminder what we have around us. Right ahead of us you can see it, Djurgårdsbron, the bridge I was talking about earlier, the one with the Viking gods. And as you may remember, Stockholm is the home to about 100 museums, and 20 of those, more or less, you can find over here on Djurgården, such as my personal favorite, the ABBA Museum. I've been there 7 times, and now ask me if I work there. But I don't, because obviously I'm here with you. We also have the captain's favorite, which is, of course, the Museum of Alcohol and Swedish Drinking Culture. Because we have one of those. And Djurgården is also the home to Skansen. And Skansen is the world's first open-air museum. It opened up in 1891. And a funny thing to know about Skansen, if you're not from Sweden, is there has been a TV show broadcast from there since 1979 called Allsång på Skansen. And what is that, you may ask? What is Allsång? Allsång kind of means sing-along, so it's a sing-along TV show. So for every Tuesday night throughout the summer at 8 p.m. we'll all gather around at home to sing along with our TVs. I'm thinking that is completely normal behavior. But I will soon play you the theme song of the show. Jag kan säga att det är från Sverige, att ni är i gott sällskap. Pernilla Wahlgren har faktiskt åkt med oss här på oceanbus. Finns att beskåda av senaste säsongen av Wahlgrens värld om ni vill se det för er själva. Men nu kör vi lite Stockholm i mitt hjärta. If you want to get the full Skansen experience, you put your hands in the air, you dance along with me as the chorus comes. Ni från Sverige, ni vet hur man gör, då kör man en riktig Skansen på refrängen. Thank you, Captain. Great, you guys look beautiful. So if you're still here on Tuesday, make sure to switch on channel 1 and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So that song, it goes, Stockholm in my heart. Of all the cities I know around the world, you are the one that has it all. The inner city of Stockholm is built upon 14 islands. I won't be naming all of those because I don't have the time, but I will be mentioning a few. You can see straight ahead of us, you can see a red and white little palace or castle sort of with a flagpole on top of it, slightly to your left. And that is Stockholm, the second smallest island in all of Stockholm. And the flag on top of it is called our peace flag, and symbolizes that we have not been invaded by a foreign power, and it's been hung up there every morning for the past 200 years. Because Sweden hasn't been in a war for about 200 years, and we haven't been invaded by another country for about 500 years. We invaded other countries ourselves. We owned the Baltic Sea and now we lost it all. Oh well. Well, I said every morning for the past 200 years, but that's not completely true, because on the morning of May 17th in 1996, the people of Stockholm woke up to find the Norwegian flag hanging there. Oh no! People started to panic and call the cops and call the newspapers like, have we been invaded of Norway all of a sudden? But that turned out to be a false alarm. It was a couple of Norwegian students that had snuck up there at night, took the Swedish flag down to put up their own to pull a prank on their big brother neighbor. So it was all fine. And with a lot of islands comes, as you can already tell, a lot of boats. The one over here is quite special because it's on land. And it's this one right over there with those 3 red masts sticking out of the roof. Those belongs to the Vasa ship and the Vasa ship museum. And the one in the middle has the same height as the original, which is 52 meters high. And now you can probably imagine how big she was. And that is also why she sank. Well, she was too tall, too narrow, and just too big. Just like this boat. No, you're fine. So the year was 1628 and she started her maiden voyage back from the royal palace on the other side of these islands, and she went in that direction on her way to Poland. But she made it just around the bend by the amusement park ahead of us before she sank, and accidentally became Sweden's first submarine instead. And she remained on the bottom of the sea for 333 years before engineer Anders Franzén was able to bring her up to the surface, so we now can look at and enjoy the only existing ship from the 1600s in the world. There is no other. Jag kan också berätta att strax innan Vasas jungfrufärd 1628 hade man låtit göra ett stabilitetstest. Man lät 30 man springa kors och tvärs uppe på däck för att se hur bra hon höll i vattnet. Men man var tvungen att avbryta testet efter att de hade sprungit bara 10 gånger och hon var redan på väg att kantra. Men kung Gustav II Adolf sa säkert någonting i stil med vet ni vad grabbar, vi kör ändå, vad kan hända? Och idag har vi ett museum som visar precis hur bra det gick. Det blev botten upp. For you. I was thinking about a certain person. You're gonna guess who that is, and when you know the answer you don't have to be polite and like raise your hand, you can just blurt it out loud, because we're not in school, we're on summer holiday. Okay, so it's a girl, it's a little girl from Sweden. She usually has her hair in braids, she has freckles on her nose, and she's the strongest girl in the world. That is, yes, of course, Pippi. Pippi Långstocking, or Pippi Långstrump in Swedish. Well, her full name is actually Pippi Lotta, Victoria, Rullgardina, Krusmynta, Efraimsdotter, Långstrump, or just Pippi for short. And inside here on Junibacken, you can meet Pippi Långstocking and many other characters from beloved author Astrid Lindgren. Idén till just Junibacken kom från en man som heter Staffan Götestam, och låter det namnet bekant? Ja, det är för att det var han som spelar Jonathan Lejonhjärta i filmerna av Bröderna Lejonhjärta. Och inne på Junibacken kan man bland annat åka Sagotåget, som var det sista Astrid själv skrev och spelade in innan hon lämnade oss 2002 i åldern av 94 år. So Astrid has sold about 150 million books worldwide and has been translated into 100 different languages. She passed away in 2002 at age 94 in her home on Dalagatan here in Stockholm. And she will be a very special person for many generations of Swedes to come. And in Sweden we love both Astrid and Pippi so much that we put them both on a 20-crown nose. I should have one here to show you, but you have to just trust me on this one. There's a big picture of Astrid Lindgren and a small cartoon of Pippi Longstocking on our actual money, and I think that's amazing. Och för er som kan läsa och förstå svenska, nästa gång ni håller in en 20-lapp, hur ofta man hanterar kontanter nu för tiden. Men bakom bilden på Pippi så finns det en liten bok uppslagen, och i den boken står det med pyttesmå bokstäver bland annat: fina lilla krumelur, jag vill aldrig bli stur. Det står på våra pengar och det tycker jag är helt fantastiskt. And so on this I will now play Pippi's very own song. this side, as you can see. And all of these, they belong to the Royal Motorboat Club, founded over 100 years ago, with a prime location in the heart of the city. But if you want to get your own boat here, well, get in line, because the waiting list is 25 years. I am 25 years, so that's a lifetime. But that is also why we put wheels on our boat so we can park them wherever we want to. We're clever that way. You're also seeing the Nobelparken from this side, and the park actually started out as a science project by the Swedish Forest Institute, and their main goal was to plant every tree that naturally grows in Sweden in the park, and they almost succeeded. All trees are there but one. And there used to be a running joke around here that if any of you can guess that correctly, either me or the captain will have to jump in the water. But people came back and guessed it right so many times, so the Coast Guard came to us and said, "Stop it, you can't do that anymore." Oh, I'm so sad about it. Oh, hello, shark. Oh, they don't know what's coming. Oh, well. So you're also seeing those villas of the diplomatic city, and ironically, the White House is British and not American. I guess they lost the bet, now they're suffering the consequences. Oh well. But it's always about this part of the tour when someone goes, "Well, Emilia, you talked about Norway before, so where can I see the Norwegian embassy?" And to that I say, look no further, because the Norwegian embassy is actually located right up there on the hill. Can you see it? Norska ambassaden där uppe på höjden. No, of course not. That house belongs to Skansen, you know, the open air museum. But it is actually a Norwegian house from the province Telemark, and it's one of the oldest in all of Skansen. It's about 800 years old. Så inte norska ambassaden, men likväl ett norskt hus från Telemark. En av de äldsta i Skansens samlingar, ungefär 800 år gammalt. A Norwegian woman once believed that was the actual embassy, but all she said was, "Okay, great, but why did they have to put it all the way up there?" Like, that's your main concern, and not that grass is growing on the roof, but we're all different, you know. We're making our way back up on safe and dry land. And for the time being, it is just the propeller that pushes us forward. But as soon as the captain feels the ground with the wheels, he will push a button and the wheels will start to spin again. Hopefully. He will change his hat back to the driver and not the captain's hat as well. And I know I said earlier that he is not James Bond, but since it's Saturday evening, I'm feeling nice. Maybe he is Bond after all. One can dream. And the other hat is back on. Great job, Captain. Whew, that was sweaty. So I do have a quick question.